The work never stops. We're going to clear out this Letterboxd watch list, so let's pick something at random and review it. Today's video is going to be about Blood Games. I added this fairly recently. I know what it is. It looks kind of crazy and nasty and mean. America's favorite pastime just turned nasty. Recently, in my episode about Fender Bender, I talked about my love for road movies, specifically of the horror and exploitation variety. I've also, at numerous times, shared my love for backwoods horror and revenge movies, so it should come as no surprise that a film that combines all of these elements made its way onto my watch list. My worry was that it was going to be too mean-spirited for me, too problematic, if you will, but luckily that wasn't the case. There's definitely some Deliverance inspiration here, though, so please be aware of that. Tonally, Blood Games is a very strange film to describe. It's one of those movies that is equally silly and bonkers as it is shockingly grim. Weirdly enough, they actually managed to pull off most of the tonal shifts, even though they can be, at times, jarring. I'm gonna be honest, Blood Games was way better than I expected it to be. I think you're gonna understand what I mean by this once I describe the plot to you. But before I do that, I do think there's something important to talk about first. This is an exploitation film where women are put in danger by the shittiest men you can possibly imagine. There are lots of movies like that, but this one is actually directed by a woman, Tanya Rosenberg. This is her only directing credit, and I think that's such a shame. Blood Games is like I Spit on Your Grave by way of Slumber Party Massacre, and yes, it's as inspired as it sounds. Even though it's certainly unpolished and awkward in spots, I was really impressed by this movie. It's much better than your standard exploitation fare. The story follows a women's softball team playing and winning an exhibition match against a local male team from the middle of bumfuck nowhere. The men, feeling emasculated, start to cause all the kinds of problems you expect them to, and pretty quickly the situation escalates into an all-out war. So the women and their coach get back to their bus in hopes of escaping while the local hillbillies chase after them. All this over a game of softball. Men are so emotional sometimes. Look, I understand that it's not actually about softball. I'm not an idiot, but I legitimately think it's so funny that this gritty exploitation film with a huge body count starts with a 10-minute long softball game. I appreciate details like that, though. It certainly makes the film unique. I can very safely say that I've never seen a movie quite like Blood Games before, and that's a compliment. As silly as the opening softball scene can seem, it actually sets up the rest of the movie pretty well. You get the sense that the antagonists want to hurt these women right away, regardless of how the game goes. It is once they start losing that they become emboldened and meaner about it. Not only does this capture the essence of the fragile male ego, it's also a precursor for what's to come. Never underestimate a shitty dude's ability to egg on another shitty dude. This is how we ended up in the broligarchy, and I fucking hate it here. For the most part, though, Blood Games is a really solid action thriller with some great set pieces and locations. I was especially impressed by the car chases in the first act. There's a lot of moving parts to them, since there's an entire softball team on the bus the hillbillies are chasing after. These scenes are fast-paced and have that kinetic energy you're looking for in action movies like this. In shootouts, however, there are a lot of slow-motion shots that feel a little gimmicky, but overall I think the action is very well directed. The dialogue could use some work as well, but that's not really why you're seeing a movie like this. Blood Games works like a dopamine hit to your lizard brain. Do you want to see some kick-ass hot ladies in softball uniforms beat up a bunch of mediocre men? I'm guessing the answer is yes, because why wouldn't it be? Just be aware that Blood Games is still an exploitation film, so certain scenes are very hard to watch. It straddles a fine line between being a silly romp and a disturbing backwoods horror, and I think that'll throw some viewers off. I was able to go with it though, and while doing so, I found a lot to like. And that's it from me today. Weirdly enough, this is actually a movie I would love to talk spoilers about, but obviously I don't really do that here. That's not to say that this movie has like some shocking twist or anything, because it doesn't, but I just find some character fates here pretty interesting, especially when you think about it from that Slumber Party Massacre satire on the genre perspective. If you enjoyed this video, I make a new one like it every day, so subscribe, come hang out. I think we have fun here. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, it really helps out, and we'll talk about more movies soon, okay? Bye.